Welcome to Charting Cryptos and Commodities. Let's jump into these charts. First, we'll jump into the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart. I guess that's provided by Bitstamp. We can see where Bitcoin on this. Now, again, these charts are set up with just volume and Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. This is a 30-day moving average, 30-day exponential moving average that you see on here. Weekly chart, 2-day chart, half-day chart. We get to see them all at the same time, and you notice these dashed lines show you on each chart. When we're on any chart, it shows you where we are on the other time frame. It's so beautiful to see in action. What do we see going on with Bitcoin? Well, we see where Bitcoin railed up on this 2-day chart as well as the weekly, and where it is starting to stall and fall. You see that first happening down here on the half-day chart where things are moving. You see on the 2-day chart where things have topped and then sliding sideways and down. You can see the volume where it accelerated back on the 2-day candle representing the 6th and 7th of February. And you can see the stall out here on this weekly chart. Now, it's not gone red in the volume yet, still a little bit of a green candle. You can see how much the volume has reduced, which is healthy. When you have big candles, you want to see big volume. Otherwise, you know that the price is being manipulated. And you can, in many cases, figure out what is going on when you see that happening. But this is showing literally that, again, the price is just petering out. Now, it doesn't mean that it won't jam up again, but we'll see if there's enough of a downflow to pull things over as we continue to go through this week into the next few weeks, and hopefully start seeing Bitcoin becoming more understandable on the charts and more manageable. But of course, we do want a nice pullback after these 4 weeks of up movement, slowing down last week and very much more so this week. Right now, this 24-hour-a-day chart showing me down 1.69%. What about Ethereum? We can see very similar things where Ethereum topped over the last several days. And you can see on this chart, let's move that into view, where it actually has been about the same place going on 4 weeks now as far as topping goes. We can see where the half-day chart has been moving down. But again, this 2-day chart simply, you can see some volume here. And when you see candles like this with high volume, like a doji, what does that mean? That means that what's being sold is being bought. And that is where many times insiders or market makers are unloading on an unsuspecting public. And we'll just keep an eye on things and see if that's actually what's happening. And if indeed the Ethereum price is topping out also. Don't know if that's occurring, but I suspect it could be. It now, again, could just be digesting those gains, getting ready to go up again. What we're looking at next is the Bitwise 10 Crypto Index Fund. What is that? Top 10 cryptocurrencies weighted according to market share, which of course means Bitcoin's the big dog there that's affecting everything. Next in line, much smaller, is Ethereum, then all the others all the other 8 rounding out the top 10. What do we see here? Again, the same kind of stalling point, some down moves here over the last few half-day candles and over the last 2-day candles. So we'll see. I mean, again, volume not showing that much for the week. If we see things, and again, even in the down volume, we don't see a lot there. So if things really do take off and that volume pumps above this black average line, then we'll know that things like we saw here where things were really jamming up for the down move. That's what you want to see, particularly as something starts to accelerate. And so we'll keep an eye on things and see if indeed those moves are coming to an end. Don't know, but that's possibly in the cards. Now let's move on to commodities. We always like to sort of rate these things in what's been hammering down the most and then go what's been hammering up the most. Well, we look at Natural gas. Check it out. Remember all that sound and fury back in August when things were at their highs. And then, of course, rolling down since then. And, of course, this week even lower for the day, 7.22%. So, again, mild winter, I guess. Prices way down. Coffee down for the day, but it had reached its low back a few weeks ago, early January. I was excited about that. I don't want coffee to be expensive. But over the last few weeks, it's been moving up, still below that 30-period exponential moving average. So over the 30 weeks, it's below that. That's good to see, down some for the day. Copper, big industrial metal, is topped out, and over the last couple of weeks moving down. Soybeans, still right there, at the top. We can go to a higher high if we move all the way back to June of last year, but we're not all that far off that. And remember, a lot of this crop is used for animal feed and human consumption. We look at sugar cane. Boom! Look at cane. Last week, one of the biggest highs we have that we've ever seen. Let's open that file up and take a look. Wow. Yeah, that's some high sugar prices. So again, expect that to be reflected across the board. Take a look at, and let's get our charts back set. Gold, we can see where gold is moving down on these charts. Now again, the last few days sliding sideways, up a little bit for the day, 0.22%. But again, we can see where things had rolled over on gold. We can see we had a real acceleration there as, again, folks were selling gold. That is, the people who had stocked up on it were selling it to eager buyers, the dummies that thought it was going to go higher. Whenever you see a setup like this with a doji or a small spinning top and high volume, when you've been going up, it means the insiders are selling out and things are about to take a price plunge, most likely. What's going on here when we take a look at gasoline? Well, gasoline's been seesawing back and forth, nowhere near those highs back in June and going down for the last 2 weeks. That's good for all of us who drive regular cars. And what do we see? Whereas corn just sort of staying right along that 30 exponential moving average. Silver going into the third week, accelerating down, up for the day, 0.59%. We can see how high the volume was last week, again, as the insiders were clearing out, driving that price down. What do we see on oil? Oil heading down some. And lastly, we look at wheat. Now, oil was up for the day, 1.15%, and wheat up 1.37%. Wheat's sort of been sliding along sideways for a while. We can see again on that half-day chart and that 2-day over the last few days where it's been there way off of its highs, going back into, well, we could go all the way back. I guess those are the highest highs, all the way back in March of last year. So we'll see as we move along what's going to happen. Remember, these commodities, you can practice trade them just like the other things that you practice trade. What does it take? Practice. That's how you get to Carnegie Hall, my friends. We so appreciate you being with us. We love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, cw@chartingwealth.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.